All right. Hey, ladies. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. I feel like I haven't been on here forever. Your girl been busy, right? So I'm so excited today. We have speaker and coach Jada Jones here. Jada, can you say hi to the ladies?
Hello, ladies.
Yes.
Ladies.
So Miss Jada Jones has been in the military, in the army for 19 years. Y'all, that is a
Plus,
long time.
19 plus.
19 plus. It's about to be 20 this year, right?
It's about to be 20 next month.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much, Jada. That is, no, seriously, that is a huge accomplishment
Oh,
to
yeah.
be in the army for 20 years. So we thank you and we honor you for that, right?
Thank you.
For serving our country. So thank you so much. Hey, Luana, thank you for joining us. All right. So today's conversation, ladies, is about future leadership. Now, Miss Jada just launched a book, not even 5 days ago on leadership, right? So now she's not just a coach, she's not just a speaker, she's not just a leader in the military, she is an official author.
Nice. Yes, ma'am.
Is an author. So can you tell us more about your book? Can you tell us the title of the book and more about it and why you wrote your book on leadership?
So, my book title is She Leads Without Limits. It's rediscovering your inner leader mindset after military service. So, my thought process with it was, understanding our thoughts, well, from my perspective on being in the military for how many years, right? And how sometimes we lose who we are in the mix of building a family, the military institutionalized type of thoughts and leadership to now you're getting ready to explore outside opportunities. And that doesn't just mean for, in the military, but even if you're in college and you're sitting there getting ready to transition or transition careers, is actually helping you build that and remind you who you are, the value that you bring, build that inner leader mindset. So it's a nice short read, and it's a definitely reminder that who you are matters and how you show up matters, and some steps of how you sit there and remember, okay, this is who I am, this is where I want to be at, and this is how I'm going to do it. So that's what it's about. And it's definitely a mental wellness for you to sit there and check it like, hey, this is where I'm at. I need to sit there and get to this other point. So I'm excited about it. It's over at Amazon now. Yeah, I'm proud of myself. I pat myself on the back a little bit.
Yeah. So before the live, we are talking about how she started to write the book in November, and now she's got it complete, and it's March, and it's out there. So you should pat yourself on the back. That's a huge
Definitely,
accomplishment, right? You know how
definitely.
many women want to write a book and never get that book out of them, right? They
Yeah.
never get it out of them. So if there's a woman out there who has a book inside of her, right? What would you
Mhm.
say to her to encourage her to write that book? You know?
Yeah, I definitely say get out of your own mind because it's going to be way more than who you are, right? Because when you sitting there and there's something that you're given, and there's someone that you've been through that needs what you have already, sit there and help out with that, because that's how I had to think about it on my end. I mean, I went through moments where I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna write it. I'm not ready for it. You had that syndrome coming through. You're like, okay, yeah, yeah. No, you need to write it. You need to start doing the outline now and sit there and make a goal to accomplish some particular moments of the book that you want to capture in it, because someone needs it. Rather it's a young adult that's sitting there growing up about to get ready to go through a certain transition, or is someone another adult that hasn't been through what you've been through, and you can help them with those lessons. And they need you. They need your word. They need your uniqueness and your spin to it. So go ahead and start writing it. Continue writing it, and go ahead and say, "Hey, this is the day I want to get it finished, published, and sent out to the world."
Yes, thank you so much for that. We appreciate that encouragement. And I love how you speak about young adults, right? So, how do young adults find their identity and find their self worth and confidence as leaders, right? Because the
Hmm.
next generation is a generation of leaders that's coming up. Honestly, like it's our generation now, and then next it's them, right? And we
It
have to
is.
cultivate and develop new leaders. So how do we do that with the society that we live in now, with this social media and everything that's going on in the world?
Hmm. So the young adults, man, I tell you, even with our youth, knowing that, when they look at us, because that's what they're looking at. They're looking at how we show up, right? So understanding it's only you. Understanding that you put that your own spin on things in this world. And as you like continue to build that confidence and start understanding what your worth is, understand the clarity. Because when you start getting more clear on who you are as a person, that starts to build onto your identity. Because you start saying, okay, I'm a person of integrity. When I talk, I'm talking of integrity. I'm sitting there, I'm confident in my words, and those different things that build your self-worth and your confidence. That's part of your identity. Now, if you're not strong in those areas, your identity is going to sit there and show that's worth. So when you start building up, say, hey, I'm comfortable in this, but I'm not comfortable in here. Maybe I should sit there and start building on here, because this is the stages I need to get to where I need to be at. So that's very critical when you're building that self-confidence, because we all go through it. No one in this world is not going to not be confident in something because it's new to them. And when it's going into this whole new world, you're like, man, I don't know how to do this, but that's when you ask. You could sit there and, hey, ring an alarm. I'm about to sit there and call someone, a mentor, a coach, someone to sit there and give me some thoughts of how I could move forward on this here, because it matters. You matter. And if you have something to give, people recognize it. But once you recognize it, man, it's so powerful. It's so powerful when you recognize what you got. And that's why it's important to step into who you are now to build the life that you sit there and want. Because when you start building around it, everything else is like, man, this is what I want. This is what I want. You start building your lifestyle around that.
Wow. I love that you just said that. I love that you say you have to know what it is that you want, because that's important, right? And
Yeah.
many of us have society telling us what we want, right? Our friends telling us what we want, family telling us what we want, social media telling us what we want, but we don't get into space where we can really write down, really connect, right, with God,
Hmm.
really just focus on what do I want? What is the next best move for me and my life and my family and my legacy, right?
Right.
And with
Right.
that, you have to know who you are, and that's who you teach about, self-worth and your identity, right? So how
Right.
did you get into this coaching and speaking space?
What's funny is I've been in this space for many years, right? But more on a people's track. So it actually came very natural for me. And I'm like, people are like, man, you don't like to talk. So I'm very much of an introvert, but I would sit there and talk once I start talking, right? So I always had a passion for learning about human behaviors, habits, and why do some people excel more than others excel. And I used to always sit there and try to think how the mindset goes in psychology, applied psychology. So I used to, those things are like, okay, I'm a geek, I'm an urban geek anyway. So I geek out on those things to my fan, and I turn it to my own self. But what motivated me even more was when I started to understand the industry. So
Mhm.
I end up, going through, attending Tony Robbins seminars. I've been involved in a lot of different inner circles, including John Maxwell mentorship certifications, and Robbins and Madonna's training that I finished up. So that's more on like strategic intervention and knowing how we truly think as human beings. And at that point, I realized I needed a coach and to get me to where I wanted to be more efficiently and with speed. And I did that. I invested quite a bit in different coaches to help me sharpen my craft. And the circle point from it, it came to me working on me, like literally deep diving deep to I'm like, I see the change, I see the transformation, I see where other people want to sit there and be. And because usually when we're talking about others, it's you really about us in a lot of senses. And then when we start circling it around, it's like now that I felt how hard it was for me to change, you start thinking about how hard it is for other people, for you to change for other people. So it's like, okay, now I'm gonna circle around to it. I want to do more things to fulfill my intrinsic goals. And baby boy's starting to try to come out.
Oh,
Um,
that's okay.
more intrinsic goals, which is to honor my Most High and to impact. Yes, son. Okay, go ahead, please. Go ahead. I know. Go ahead. Go ahead, boo boo. Okay, go ahead. Yes, please. Go.
Oh, I love it. See, look at
So
mom's on a mission. Mom's on a mission. We do
always on a mission. Always on a mission. He's
everything.
he's peeking through the door. But I want to impact the lives, right? Just expanding my gifts and my talents, then whoever that needs my leadership to help them upgrade their life, their quality of their life. And that's where it came at, because I realized how hard and how the transformation it was for me. And I know there's some direction that needs to be done on that. So that's what got me into more on a business track with coaching and speaking. So
Wow, that's awesome. So can you identify what was one of the transformations that you made with your coach, right? Like what was one of the biggest transformations you made having a coach? How did that help develop you as a leader and speaker?
yes, son, go ahead, please. Um, come here, son. I'm not sure what you're saying.
It's okay.
Um,
On the camera.
okay.
So cute.
Say hi. Want to say hi to the camera?
Hey, look at him. He's so cute. Look, he has now. Hey. What's your
You say
name?
hi. You say Jace.
Jace, you so cute.
All right, you go ahead. You go use the bathroom.
Hi, Mama.
That's not Mama.
Hi, Mommy.
It's okay.
All right. So with my coach, man, some of the main thing was mistakes, my past mistakes. I used to sit there and think that my past mistake. He's talking in the mic, but the mic is in my ear.
Okay.
So it was the JJ.
May.
Yes, you want to sit down? You want to go right back in there?
No, May.
So this is
Mama's not here. Okay, I sit there. I come back in there.
what
Okay.
I love about
Okay.
leadership, right? And being a mom and being an entrepreneur, right? So
Yeah.
even though, we are leaders, we're still moms. Well, I'm not a mom yet, right? But I do
Yeah.
work with a lot of moms, right? And that's the beauty of the power of being a woman, right? That you can do so many different things, right? And still be able to operate in your purpose and
Yeah.
operate in the calling that God has for your life. Even, So I
Yep.
think it's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, but if I don't give him the attention, he'll sit there and continue saying, "Mommy, mommy." So that's how it goes. I'm gonna have him play right here. So that was one of the main ones with my coach was the past mistakes, because what I was going through at those particular moments, it was finding myself even more and my identity even more, because I lost it quite a bit when I was going through relationships, and then when I was going through I had a stillborn in 2017. So I was still going through those depression moments to where I wasn't who I wanted to be and who I needed to be when I needed to be it. And so, I didn't give up myself, but some people did give up. And I figured my mistakes was of that, and realizing it wasn't of it. Yes, son. Yes, go take it into a room. You can take it in there, please. Thank you. And then, it took me through those moments to realize I need to find out again who I am, not just for the military, not just for family, but for who I am now. And that was the main transformation, knowing that I cannot soak and be stuck into what my mistakes was and the past things that have happened. So I started rebuilding those. And by rebuilding those, I started sitting there saying, there's other people that has been through these things, and I want to help rebuild those as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
that was my main one.
And it takes a lot of strength and a lot of courage to get up after something like that and just
Oh yeah.
keep going, right? And just to ask for help because you know you needed help. I
Go
went
that
through a
way.
depression. I've been through a few depressions, right? And
Hmm.
without like friend support and family support, I couldn't got through those times. So,
Right,
you know, it's essential to reach out and ask for help when you're going through one of the worst of life challenges, right?
right,
So,
right.
getting back to leadership, how are you
Yep.
able to help leaders be self-directed leaders?
Oh man, that's a loaded question, right? But um, when we sitting there, we actually thinking about it, you know, being understanding who you are, because that's where it all falls into. Hold on, son. That's where it falls all into, right? So when I start to help them realize, like, reading, right? Start to read more. You start reading more. You start opening. Yes, son. Okay. Yes, son. Okay. It's a fan. All right. So, that is already in them. So when they start realizing those things that's already in them, I help them to reframe their old habits, right? You have to be ready to, and that's a hard thing. And that's some of the things I had to sit there and do. You had to reframe your old habits and those thought processes that's keeping you right where you at, for you won't
Yeah.
be as a person to always have to be dependent on someone else in those senses, but you know how to bring yourself back to it. So I definitely encourage them to read more, speak more, live more, go out your way to even give more. Because when you sit and you're doing it, you start feeling more fulfilled. You feel that you have done something for someone else, not just yourself, because that's where the joy comes into when you take an initiative. When you start taking initiative, you start saying, I did that. That's for the betterment of cultivating a culture of excellence. So when you start doing it in home, you start doing it in your relationships, you start doing it at work or business, man, you can like, man, I take ownership of all this. Take ownership of it. And when you start taking ownership of it, that's when you start becoming more self-directed. You start saying, okay, that didn't go right because I didn't do this. Now let's fill the gaps on with that. And when you start taking those ownerships is critical, because again, you ain't blaming nobody but yourself. So
And one thing that Jada said before the call, she said, Kiera, blame has the letters M-E in it, right? So you have to take ownership of M-E, which is me. And
mhm.
I just love that because so many times we want to blame things and people outside of ourselves, right? And actually it's the internal work that we need to do to progress forward. It's the people that we need to reach out to, the relationships we need to build
Yeah,
to help us move our lives forward, right? So, is there
right.
any advice you can leave with the ladies about leadership and moving forward?
I would definitely say, inspire yourself, right? So you are your own, the work flows through you. And when you sit there and you show up for yourself, you will sit there and grab so much more and understand the leverage that you have. Because then now you start not necessarily, you start having trust for more people in your circle, right? Because now you know that you can trust yourself to sit there and do better, do more. And you know that people is out of value. People understand that, you know what, hey, Coach Kiera, oh, she gives so much value. She understands the ins and outs of these things. I want to go and I want to tag her in to talk with her, and I know she's not going to lead me in the wrong direction, right? So you know that being a leader, the world needs you. You know, it takes maturity, it takes growth, it takes grace, it takes forgiveness. That's forgiveness for yourself, forgiveness of people that's around you that you not haven't forgiven yet. It takes bit. Is that me? Am I gone?
Kinda. It's okay.
Okay. I think maybe it's my camera. Can y'all see me still?
No, we cannot.
Uh-oh.
It's
I'm
okay.
sorry. I'm sorry, ladies. I think it's
It's
my
okay.
camera. Okay. Yeah, and that's what I was saying. Just it takes resolve, definitely. And y'all can sit there and y'all can do it. Y'all put your mind to it and get a circle of friends around you to sit there and help inspire you and to be more than what you are now.
Yes, I love it. So after this, ladies, I am going to post Jada's book. I'm going to be purchasing it today because I need to grow more as a leader. And I told Jada, I said, I'm getting this book today, right? So yeah, She Leads Without Limits book just came out. So let's all get a copy of her book. And Miss Jada Jones, we are going to have you back on the show, right? So we
Yes,
thank you
ma'am.
so much for being on the show. We thank you for just sharing your story with us today. And congratulations on your 20 years in the Army. We are so thankful and honored that you served for us. So thank you.
Thank you. And I apologize. I think my camera had went dead on you guys. So I apologize. I owe y'all one.
she'll be back. She'll be back.
I'll be back.
Bye, ladies.
Thank you.
You're welcome.